How to Master Your Time and Energy. Written and published by ReadFlow, Audiobook. Part 1. The Real Cost of Wasted Time. You've heard the phrase, time is money, but that's an understatement. Time is more than money, it's life. Every moment you spend distracted, overwhelmed or misaligned is a moment you can't get back. The first step toward mastering your time and energy is understanding their true value. Think of time as your most limited currency. Unlike money, you can't earn more of it. Unlike energy, you can't recharge it. Once spent, it's gone. But here's the secret. While you can't control the quantity of time, you can master its quality. That's what the most successful people do. They don't try to do everything. They focus on doing the right things with focus, clarity, and intention. The myth of being busy feels productive. It feels noble. But busyness is not the same as effectiveness. Many people spend entire days answering emails, attending meetings, and reacting to other people's demands, and end the day exhausted, with nothing meaningful accomplished. The first mindset shift is this: if I'm always busy, I'm probably avoiding what actually matters. Start measuring your day, not by how much you did, but by what moved the needle. Was your time invested in high-impact tasks? Did your energy go toward progress or distraction? Energy is your real advantage. Time is fixed, but energy fluctuates, and that's where mastery begins. If you protect and direct your energy, you can get 10x more from the same hour than someone who's drained or distracted. Ask yourself, what drains me daily? What habits recharge me quickly? When during the day do I feel most mentally sharp? Start tracking your energy like your finances. Learn your natural rhythm. Then build your priorities around your peak performance windows, not someone else's schedule. The ownership shift. Time and energy mastery starts with ownership. As long as you believe others are in control of your day, your boss, your family, your phone, you'll remain stuck in reaction mode. But when you say, my time is my responsibility, everything changes. Here's how to claim ownership. Set clear boundaries around your availabilities. Say no more often than you say yes. Stop apologizing for protecting your time. Schedule thinking time, not just doing time. This isn't selfish, it's strategic. One powerful shift today. Don't try to overhaul everything overnight. Instead, make one intentional shift today. Maybe that's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's deleting one distracting app, or saying no to a meeting that doesn't serve your goal. Each small act of control strengthens your internal discipline. Over time, these choices stack into momentum, and that momentum becomes your lifestyle. Your time and energy are the foundation of every goal you'll ever set. Master them, and you master your life. Part 2. Design your day before the world does. If you don't design your day, someone else will. Your phone, your inbox, your notifications, every one of them has an agenda. And if you're not proactive, you'll spend most of your energy reacting to the demands of others instead of building your own life. The most effective people don't start their day by checking messages. They begin by deciding what matters most and structuring everything else around that. The power of a personal operating system. Think of your daily routine as an operating system. Is it stable or does it crash often? Is it efficient or cluttered and lagging? A well-designed personal OS should include morning intention, a few minutes to decide your top 1-3 priorities, energy-based scheduling, high-focus tasks during your peak mental hours, tactical breaks, short resets to maintain sharpness, evening shutdown, a calm review, not a chaotic scroll. This structure protects you from decision fatigue and keeps your time aligned with your goals, not your impulses. Identify your time thieves. Before you can reclaim your time, you need to know what's stealing it. These aren't just the obvious distractions like social media. Time thieves can also be unnecessary meetings, people-pleasing responses, multitasking that destroys focus, tasks that feel urgent but aren't important. Every few days, do a quick audit. Ask yourself, where did my energy go today? Did my calendar reflect my real goals? What can I remove or automate? Eliminating just 20% of these leaks could double your clarity and execution over time. Protect the first 60 minutes. Your first hour shapes your entire day. If you begin with chaos, news, emails, noise, you'll stay reactive. But if you begin with clarity, reflection, movement, planning, you enter the day as a leader, not a follower. Here's a high-performance structure you can try, or journal. Movement, 10-15 minutes. Walk, stretch, light workout. Planning, 10 minutes. Review goals. Write 3 key actions. Learning, 10 minutes. Read, listen to something elevating. You don't have to follow this perfectly. Just start with intent. The goal is not to have a flawless morning routine. The goal is to own your mindset before the world interrupts it. Energy management is not about doing less. Some people think managing energy means slowing down, but mastery isn't about doing less. It's about doing the right things with full presence. You can still hustle, still push yourself, but it has to be targeted. Here's a rule worth living by. When I'm working, I'm fully in. When I'm resting, I'm fully out. No half work, half rest. That only leads to burnout and guilt. Instead, create space for deep work and deep recharge, and you'll multiply what you get done in fewer hours. Your day, your design. There's no perfect routine for everyone. What matters is that you are designing your day, not reacting to it. Even just 15 minutes of planning the night before can create hours of regained clarity the next day. The people who master time aren't superhuman. They just decide what matters before the world tells them what to do, and they live by that decision day after day. Part 3. Eliminate the noise. Amplify the signal. We live in a world of constant input. Notifications, headlines, messages, and endless scrolling fill every empty moment. But noise isn't just digital. It's mental. It clouds your thinking, fragments your focus, and drains your energy before you've even begun the real work. To master your time and energy, you must become a guardian of attention. You must filter the noise and amplify what truly matters. The focus formula. Here's a simple truth. You can't do meaningful work in a distracted state. Whether you're writing, creating, planning, building, or leading, quality demands depth, and depth demands focus. To protect your focus, turn off non-essential notifications. Use Do Not Disturb during your core working hours. Create a single task environment. One tab, one goal, one block of time. Schedule tech-free time every day. Even 30 minutes makes a difference. If you protect your focus like it's gold, it will reward you with clarity, speed, and confidence. The power of subtraction. We often think mastery is about doing more, but the truth is, real power comes from doing less, better. Ask yourself, what's one obligation I can remove this week? What's one tool, platform, or meeting I can eliminate or streamline? What's one habit I can replace with something more intentional? Minimalism isn't about deprivation. It's about direction. It means clearing the path so your energy flows to what matters most. Build an essential list. Start keeping 2 lists. What I must do, what I will no longer do. The first keeps you grounded in priority. The second sets boundaries. For example, I must spend 2 focused hours daily on my main goal. I will no longer say yes to projects that don't align with my vision. These lists evolve, but just having them forces you to filter your input and guard your output. Create white space. Just like music needs silence between notes, your life needs white space between tasks. You don't have to schedule every minute. In fact, you shouldn't. Leave room to breathe, to think, to reset. Some of your best ideas won't arrive when you're forcing productivity. They'll arrive when you're still undistracted and present. Try inserting 5 minutes of stillness between major tasks. No screen, no noise, just present. That pause can reset your nervous system and refill your mental battery faster than you realize. Noise isn't neutral. Every bit of unnecessary input, whether it's gossip, drama, or low-value content, pulls at your energy. Even passively consuming junk drains you. Start asking, is this adding clarity or confusion? Is this feeding me or feeding distraction? Is this aligned with who I want to become? When you ask better questions, your attention sharpens and your energy rises. Time and energy mastery isn't about doing more, it's about doing less, but with full awareness, full presence, and full intention. Clear the noise, amplify the signal, own your direction. Part 4. The Momentum Principle. One of the most powerful forces in time and energy mastery is momentum. When you start your day with clarity and take focused action, even something small, you trigger a psychological effect that eats motivation, sharpens attention, and compounds progress. Momentum isn't magic, it's movement. And movement builds confidence. Start small to go big. Many people think they need a huge burst of motivation to begin. The truth is, action creates motivation, not the other way around. If you feel stuck or overwhelmed, the best strategy is this. Start with a micro win, a 5-minute task, a simple routine, one clear decision. That single act tells your mind, I'm moving. And once you're in motion, it becomes easier to stay in motion. The brain rewards progress, even tiny progress. Momentum versus motivation. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. Momentum is mechanical. It builds as long as you keep showing up. Don't wait for the perfect day or ideal condition. Instead, focus on consistency over intensity. Build rituals, not resolutions. Track progress in small ways. What gets tracked gets improved. For example, even checking off a single task on your morning list can trigger momentum for the rest of your day. Design a keystone habit. Keystone habits are small routines that create ripple effects across your time, energy, and discipline. Examples: Fees, a morning walk that clears your mind and boosts focus. A daily review that keeps your goals in sight. A fixed shutdown time that improves sleep and boundaries. The secret is, once one area of your life gets into alignment, other areas follow. You become sharper, calmer, more decisive, not from working harder, but from working smarter. Identify one keystone habit and make it non-negotiable. Protect it like your most valuable appointment. Manage energy in blocks, not bursts. Momentum also comes from how you structure your time. Constant task switching drains energy and kills progress. Instead, use time blocks. For example, 90 minutes deep work, 15 minutes break, 60 minutes admin or calls, 30 minutes buffer and review. Block your day according to energy, not just urgency. And start your day with your most strategic task, not your easiest one. When you do what matters first, everything else flows more easily. To build real momentum, practice the discipline of completion. Whether it's a small task, a conversation, or a commitment to yourself, follow through. Train your mind to cross the finish line. Every time you finish what you start, you build trust in yourself, and that trust becomes your power. Momentum is the quiet force that turns scattered days into powerful weeks, and small habits into lifelong mastery. You don't need to feel ready, you just need to begin. Then keep going. Part 5. Boundaries create freedom. If you want to master your time and energy, you must learn how to protect it. Not from emergencies, but from people, patterns, and habits that slowly consume your attention. Most people associate boundaries with restriction, but in reality, boundaries are what give you freedom. Freedom to focus, freedom to create, freedom to rest without guilt. Boundaries aren't about pushing others away, they're about prioritizing your values. Say no without guilt. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your purpose, you're saying no to something that does. You don't need to be rude, harsh, or cold, but you do need to be clear. Practice phrases like, "That doesn't align with my priorities right now. I appreciate the offer, but I need to pass. I'm fully booked. Can we revisit this later?" Clarity protects your capacity. Control your access points. Your time and energy are finite. Treat them like your most valuable asset. That means don't be always available. Turn off notifications during deep work. Don't check messages before you've centered yourself. Choose when and how others can access you. The most successful people aren't always reachable. They're strategically available. Create rules for how your time is accessed and stick to them. Emotional boundaries matter too. It's not just about your calendar. It's about your mental space. You need to protect yourself from energy-draining conversations, guilt-driven commitments, emotional entanglements that leave you depleted. Start asking, does this conversation energize me or exhaust me? Am I doing this out of alignment or obligation? What would respecting myself look like right now? Protecting your peace is just as important as protecting your time. Boundary setting is a skill. If it feels hard at first, that's normal. Most of us were never taught how to say no or put ourselves first without shame. But like any skill, boundary setting gets stronger with repetition. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Start small. Block 1 hour per day for focused, uninterrupted work. Say no to one low-value request this week. Cancel or reschedule something that no longer serves you. Then build from there. Your energy deserves protection. You are not a machine. You can't operate at full output. You need space. You need recovery. You need quiet. Boundaries are how you create that space. When you protect your time and energy, you're not just serving yourself. You're showing up better for your work, your family, your mission. It's not selfish. It's strategic stewardship. Time freedom begins where emotional and mental boundaries are enforced. If you don't protect your focus, no one else will. Part 6. Recharge with intention, not excuses. Mastering your time and energy isn't just about doing more. It's also about knowing when to step back and how to do it in a way that renews you rather than numbs you. Most people confuse rest with escape. They scroll to relax, binge to recharge, sleep too late and call it recovery. But true restoration is intentional, not accidental. When you learn to recharge on purpose, your yearning becomes a weapon, not a weakness. Recovery is a high-performance strategy. Top performers, athletes, CEOs, creatives, they don't burn out because they understand a vital truth. Recovery isn't the opposite of progress, it's part of it. You're not a machine. Your mind, body and spirit need space to reset, but it must be quality recovery. Start asking what truly recharges me, what leaves me feeling more drained even after a break. How can I build renewal into my routine? Recharging isn't total, it's part of elite discipline. Identify your energy wells. Everyone has different sources of restoration. Yours might include nature or sunlight, reading or journaling, stillness or spiritual time, laughter and real conversation, movement like walking or light training, creative flow like writing, sketching, or brainstorming. The key is to make time for these before your system crashes, not after. Schedule your recharge time like you'd schedule a high-stakes meeting. Because it is. Rest is not laziness. Many people feel guilty when they slow down. They've been conditioned to believe that if they're not grinding, they're falling behind. But here's the truth. Burnout steals more time than rest ever will. You can't give your best if you're always running on fumes. You can't lead with clarity if your mind is always foggy. Strategic rest is how you stay in the game long term. Shift your mindset. Rest isn't lazy, it's leadership. Breaks aren't distractions, they're investments. Sleep, stillness, solitude, these aren't rewards, they're requirements. Build a recharge ritual. Instead of randomly waiting to feel ready to rest, design your own ritual of renewal. Try this example. Move or stretch lightly. Even 5-10 minutes tells your body it's time to reset. Unplug consciously. Step away from screens. Let your mind breathe. Engage in mindful recharge. Something that feeds your spirit, not just numbs your stress. Even 20-30 minutes of high-quality rest can refill your tank more than hours of mindless activity. Energy alignment, energy hustle. You don't need to chase energy, you need to align with it. When your rest is aligned with your rhythm, when your recovery is proactive, not reactive, when your schedule includes space, stillness, and simplicity, you unlock a new level of clarity and performance. Time mastery is incomplete without energy mastery, and energy mastery is incomplete without rest. Choose restoration on purpose, and your productivity will follow. Part 7. Cut through mental clutter. Decide with clarity. Nothing drains your time and energy faster than indecision. Every time you delay a decision, you carry the weight of it. It lingers in your mind, quietly pulling at your focus, raising your stress and slowing your forward motion. Clarity is power, and decision-making is a skill you must sharpen, because every moment you hesitate is a moment you surrender energy. The cost of avoiding decisions. Avoiding a decision doesn't keep you safe, it keeps you stuck. Every open tab in your mind drains bandwidth. Every maybe later creates tension. Every unmade choice multiplies into more complexity down the road. The best performers don't always make perfect decisions, but they do make clear, timely ones. They trust their frameworks, not just their feelings. Ask yourself, what decision am I avoiding right now? What is it costing me emotionally and energetically? What would I choose if I wasn't afraid? Answering those questions often brings instant clarity. Create a personal decision filter. To decide faster and with less stress, build a simple internal checklist. Here's a 3-question filter you can use daily. Does this align with my priorities? If it doesn't serve your vision, it doesn't deserve your energy. Will this move me forward or distract me? Not all progress is visible. Sometimes the best decision is the one that protects focus. Will I regret not doing this a month from now? This question often exposes real desire hidden beneath hesitation. Trust the answers that come quickly. Usually that's your clarity trying to rise above the noise. Make micro decisions fast. Not every decision deserves deep thought. Save your best energy for your highest impact choices. Choose your top priority the night before. Reserve your mental bandwidth for decisions that actually matter, and simplify or automate the rest. Learn from action, not analysis. Overthinking drains energy faster than failure. You'll never have perfect certainty before a choice, but you can have confidence. Confidence doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from choosing, acting, and adjusting along the way. Clarity comes through movement, not perfection. Instead of waiting to be sure, move forward and refine as you go. Close open loops. Mental clutter isn't just about major life decisions. It's the small open loops you leave unattended. The unread message, the unfinished task, the half-made commitment, the apology you haven't given, the clutter you walk past daily. Every open loop tugs on your attention. Close them one by one, and you'll feel your energy return like a wave. Time is often wasted not in action but in hesitation. When you build the habit of decisive clarity, you free up mental space, emotional peace, and pure creative focus. Decide, simplify. Part 8. Align your time with what truly matters. Most people don't lack time, they lack alignment. They fill their schedule with what's urgent instead of what's meaningful. They work hard, but not toward what fulfills them. They're busy, but they're not becoming who they want to be. When your time is aligned with your values, your energy rises. When your calendar reflects your calling, you stop dreading your days and start directing them. The energy of misalignment. There's a unique kind of exhaustion that comes from living out of sync with yourself. It's not from overwork, it's from under-purpose. You know the feeling, doing tasks that feel empty, saying yes to things out of guilt, working hard with no sense of progress, feeling disconnected from your own goals. This isn't a time problem, it's a direction problem. When you live by default, you drain. When you live by design, you gain. Know your core values. Your values are your internal compass. If you don't know what they are, you'll say yes to everything and end up scattered. Take a moment to define your top 3-5. These are principles you want your time, energy, and decisions to serve. Examples: A. Growth, integrity, freedom, creativity, contribution, peace of mind. Once you name them, you can measure your schedule against them. Ask, Does my calendar reflect what I say I value? What's getting too much energy that doesn't align? What's not getting enough? Awareness creates alignment. Alignment creates momentum. Build an aligned weekly structure. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight, but you can start building a rhythm that matches your values. Here's a simple process. Start with your non-negotiables. What do you need weekly for health, focus, and growth? Protect blocks for your highest value work. Morning hours are ideal for deep focus. Create margin. Space to think, reflect, and reset is where ideas flourish. Make space for what energizes you, not just rest, but activities that refill your mental and emotional tank. When your week reflects your values, it starts to feel like your life again, not someone else's to-do list. Eliminate value drift. One of the biggest threats to alignment is value drift. When your time gradually shifts toward things that look important but aren't aligned. Watch out for doing things just because others expect them, chasing goals that no longer excite you, getting caught in comparison instead of direction, saying yes to opportunities that don't match your future. Clarity means having the courage to let go of what no longer fits, even if it once did. When alignment happens, when your values shape your time, you feel lighter, you make faster decisions, you stop needing willpower to stay consistent, you operate from purpose, not pressure, you gain access to deep, sustainable energy, because now your schedule isn't just full, it's aligned. Energy is highest when time is spent on what matters most. Design your life from the inside out, not the outside in. Part 9. Master your environment. Master your mind. We often think productivity is a matter of willpower, but in reality, much of your time and energy is shaped by something even more powerful: your environment. Your surroundings either support your focus or sabotage it. They either lift your standards or lower them. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And environment is one of the most influential systems you can control. The hidden influence of space. Take a look at your workspace, your room, your phone, your digital life. Each one is sending you signals all day long. Clutter says, you're behind. Notifications say you're needed everywhere. Messy desks say you're overwhelmed. Too many tabs say you don't finish. This isn't about perfection. It's about clarity. A clean, calm environment frees up mental bandwidth and reduces decision fatigue. Start small. Clear one surface. Delete 5 distracting apps. Organize one folder on your computer. Turn your phone screen grayscale or use a minimalist background. These changes may feel subtle, but they stack. Over time, they create space for focus, peace, and momentum. Design for focus, not convenience. Convenience can be the enemy of intentionality. If distractions are easy to access, you'll use them. If healthy routines require friction, you'll avoid them. Flip the equation. Make distraction harder. Log out. Block sites. Remove temptations. Make focus easier. Keep your to-do list visible. Prep your workspace the night before. Make healthy choices obvious. Lay out your workout clothes. Place your book on the pillow. Prep meals in advance. Your environment should do the heavy lifting, so you don't have to constantly tittle your willpower. Surround yourself with standards. Environment isn't just physical, it's social and emotional too. Ask yourself, who do I spend the most time around? Do they inspire discipline or encourage distraction? Do they drain me or challenge me to grow? The people closest to you shape what feels normal. Raise your standard by raising your circle. Curate your input. What you read, watch, and consume. Your energy is directly tied to what surrounds you. Create ritual zones. One of the most effective ways to protect energy is to assign your spaces clear roles. A desk for deep work, a chair for reading, a spot for meditation or journaling, a corner for exercise or movement. Your brain anchors behavior to environment. When a space has a purpose, it becomes easier to shift into the right mindset automatically without forcing it. Even if your space is small, you can still create these zones through cues, lighting, sound, posture, or minimal rearrangement. Digital environment. Their mental clarity. Your digital space is just as real as your physical one. Tips to manage digital chaos. Use one inbox rule. Process, decide, archive, unsubscribe from what's no longer aligned. Use folders and naming systems that make retrieval fast. Turn off 80% of notifications. Block time daily to clear digital clutter. A clean phone, clean laptop, and clean desktop are underrated tools of high performance. Your environment is not just where you live, it's how you live. Design it with intention, and your focus, time, and energy will follow. Part 10. Lead yourself. Sustain the momentum. Time mastery is not about fitting more into your day. Energy mastery is not about staying on all the time. Both are about ownership. Your choices, your habits, your space, and ultimately your mindset. When you fully take responsibility for your time and energy, you stop reacting to life and start designing it. Success is built in the mundane. High achievers aren't superheroes. They're people who have learned to stay consistent when motivation disappears. They understand that greatness isn't found in bursts of intensity, it's forged in daily rhythm. The quiet commitment to a morning routine, the disciplined no to distractions, the protected space to think, recharge, and reflect, the steady execution of what matters most, even when it's not exciting. That's what mastery looks like. Not perfection, repetition. Not speed, alignment. Repetition builds identity. Everything you've learned in this audiobook becomes real the moment you act on it, because action reinforces identity. When you consistently guard your focus, align with your values, recharge with purpose, decide with clarity, lead your environment, you stop just doing productivity. You start becoming the kind of person who lives, and that's where real change happens. Not just in the outcomes you chase, but in who you become through the process. The leadership mindset. Mastering your time and energy is an act of self-leadership. It's choosing to be proactive when it's easier to be passive. Protect your peace in a noisy world. Live aligned, not just busy. Build systems instead of relying on motivation. Rest with intention, not guilt. Decide, act, and move, even when the path isn't fully clear. You can't always control circumstances, but you can control your focus, your effort, and your inner clarity. That's what leadership looks like. Quiet, daily, relentless. Keep it simple. Keep it true. As you move forward, remember, complexity creates resistance. Simplicity creates results. Don't get lost chasing the perfect system. Just keep showing up. Refine, adjust, recommit. Build your routines around what energizes you. Align your goals with who you want to become. Let your values dictate your calendar, not pressure or noise. When your life flows from the inside out, mastery becomes natural. Final reflection. You now have the tools. You've learned how to guard your energy, design your days, and lead your mind. The rest comes down to daily choices, quiet courage, and your commitment to becoming the kind of person who doesn't just manage time, but maximizes life. Thank you for listening to How to Master Your Time and Energy, written and published by ReadFlow Audiobook. Stay intentional, stay aligned, and above all, keep leading yourself forward.